Hey guys, I'm Merhan Keller, and this is Before It Made Sense.
What's up, everybody? Today we have Merhan Keller with us, a model, activist, a creative who's built a platform that goes far beyond just fashion. From walking on runways across cities like New York, Milan, and Paris to speaking on issues that matter, her journey hasn't just been about visibility, it's also about the impact. She's someone who's experienced both recognition and resistance and still found a way to turn that into purpose. So we're excited to talk about that journey, the growth, and everything that happened before it made sense with Merhan Keller. Everybody
Yay,
clap
thank
it
you
up.
guys. Thank you for having me. That's really awesome. I love your podcast, and it was great because it felt very real and authentic, and we can talk about everything. We're not trying to be politically correct. We're actually saying what our circle and our industry says.
Exactly.
Thank you
So
for having me.
thank you for being here. And for anyone discovering you, seeing you for the first time, how would you describe yourself and the world that you're building right now?
I've always been an activist first because also growing up in the Middle East, it exposes you to these kind of problems. And you know that, oh, okay, well, maybe the rest of the world doesn't have the same problem. It's hard to really express it to somebody who hasn't lived it. But we're in New York City and everybody here relates to everybody just because we have the same goals. And that's amazing. So we got to know everything about each other's culture and what we believe in. Being a model has always been a passion of mine. And also because the industry a few years ago was very limited and limiting when it comes to people who look like us or work with the people that we work with, right? We might not have Chanel and Dior. And it begs the question is why were they the only ones placed in there that are aspirational? Why only this house that got an opportunity to grow into a heritage house, they started somewhere too. But why is this not acceptable now and is being mocked? So I feel that this led to that somehow. But of course, people's perception is different because if you're doing modeling, you would also be sometimes misunderstood as being superficial. If you don't care about important stuff, all you care about is pretty clothes. And they don't understand that it's quite the opposite. There's so much work of a lot of creatives and individuals behind that. It's a lot of steps, and you cannot just act like it doesn't matter because it does. You're wearing clothes. So I don't know what you're mocking. What made you make that decision to buy this clothes? It's because of people like us that decided that this is the look for this season. And then you chose from what we chose from and wore it. And you act like it's not important, right? So I feel that this is an integral part. We're also part of our communities. We're citizens. We're affected by a lot of stuff. We're people of color. We have a whole different layer of problems. And we need to be represented properly because 90% of the shoppers today are our crowd, not the big fashion houses crowd. There are less than 2% as per research, and not everybody can afford them. Most of the population cannot afford them. So we have the biggest share of the market, actually. So for you to act like we don't matter is not only evil, but it's also a very bad business decision. It's like saying, I don't want 90% of you to buy from me. Fine, you know?
Getting into that space and knowing how things are already kind of structured, how was it for you in the beginning, gaining and having that confidence to say, I'm going to go into that industry and I'm going to carve out a space for not just myself, but for the people who are like me and who I'm bringing up with?
I think for us, it felt like this space haven't really grown when it comes to taking care of the community itself, but it has grown tremendously when it comes to demand. We see every day new brands coming up, new designers, and they do require the visuals. They need photographers, they need videographers. Some of them cannot even visualize their own vision sometimes because being a designer who can make clothes doesn't mean I know how to launch a concept that people would relate to. Doesn't mean that I know what would be catchy enough to be worthy of a retail business expansion. That's what most of the designers want. So they need the creatives. You need the creative director, you need the photographer, you need the models. And don't tell me AI is a whole different conversation. We're going to get into it later. But it's the human element that decides whether a piece of work is actually good or bad, right? Because on computer, everybody can copy paste. But if you're a group of humans that created this masterpiece, that's what people relate to and actually want to spend money on. I can remember the last time I've been shopping in a mall. For years, I really haven't. Most of the stores now are shrinking. Saks Fifth Avenue is bankrupt. That was one of the big tycoons. The rest of them are cutting expansions and shrinking. So if you have a store that is not operating, they shut it down because you can't cover the expenses. And the existing ones, take a look, they're empty most of the time because now the shopper is not the same. I want to support women-owned businesses. I want to support Black-owned businesses, immigrant-owned businesses. That's because the shopper is savvy, is part of this community, you know? So it felt like this place is really having a big gap. Those designers don't know where to start from. The models don't know where to start from because you go to the big agencies, they have massive boards of a lot of options. They have certain people that they feel like if they push for them, it's better than to, because you can't give the same focus to everybody, realistically, right? So you find 3, 4 doing great, and then the rest are just on the boards. Like when you sign a talent and then binge it, doesn't get to play the season, but it's better than being with me than be with the competing team. It's just a lot of politics eventually that got everybody to feel like it's either we continue doing what we do, but we do it right without this pressure, or we don't do it at all and just do our full-time jobs, you know? So once we decided to create it, everyone was on board already because they felt like, okay, this makes sense. I'm seen here more than in other places.
I think you touched on something that's really important right now, the creative versus AI. I don't think a lot of businesses, brand owners, or people really understand. AI has kind of made people think so imaginary. I was talking with someone the other day and he was like, it should be easy. I could just put what my company does in AI and then say what I should post. And I was like, dude, no. Creatives are running the industry now. Every company, every business needs a creative director who's in the field, who is outside and knows what the niche is or their audience is or how to communicate the message of what you're saying right now to the masses. So kudos to you for doing it and not just doing it, but doing it well.
Yes, we have to, because otherwise we can only keep complaining about the conditions we don't like, but just change it already. Like, enough whining about it. I'm serious. And that's what I tell designers too, is some of them come and say, can I bring some of the models, for example? Why do you think they do that? If they think we're coming to an agency to choose the best for us, why would they choose and bring them with them? Sometimes it's the house muse. This designer is a person. She's affected by her environment. What if she's created this collection with her mom and her aunties in mind? Those models don't necessarily look like them, and she wants to feel properly represented. You know, we had a designer from Ghana and he had a capsule collection as a love letter to his country and his community specifically. So yes, I understand when he tells me I cannot have blonde models on the runway because this is for my community. It has to match the story. Our women don't look like this. And that should be the moment where everybody goes, okay, then this is the shopper I'm trying to market for. Then let them be represented. It's not even out of courtesy anymore that, oh, I'm inclusive. No, people do want to see this clothes on someone that looks like them. So who are you to stop that? And why is it acceptable for certain designers that have a theme that we want it to look like it's from space? And then they choose people that have these very strong features that looks like it's from a different galaxy. But that's also against you if you're casting on the runway. I'm like, okay, what is it that you want then? They want what they want. They have that vision and they're allowed to choose people that look like them. So there is a space in the market. It's a fact, right? AI is not going to show me exactly how this fabric is going to flow. It's not going to show me that. It's not going to show me the flaws that I want to experience because, again, people are not a cookie cutter. It's not going to look like this. I want to see it on a person, you know? So yes, I think everybody got excited over it because it cuts our time, maybe. It can do things faster for you, but it's not reliable. It feeds you also from what you fed it initially. So they will be leaning towards telling you what you want to hear. Like, don't tell me every project that ChatGPT puts together for designer, I want to launch my brand. Create a strategy for me. It does, and it sends you all those massive pages. Are you telling me that all of these millions of suggestions have actually been launched and are successful today? Then what happened? Because I thought it's very well thought through because ChatGPT said it's gonna work. Did it work? It didn't. So don't lie. And I know all of the designers that do that from our team. They will go and research, okay, here's my marketing strategy. Here's my Instagram link. Tell me what can I modify so I can make better sales or have better aesthetics. And it send them all those pages. Okay, did your activity increase? No. Did your sales increase? No. Okay, then congratulations on the rebranding. It's like painting your own house. Fine. But if there's a hole in the wall, it still is a wall, right?
Like there's just an aspect of human interaction that AI is copying that eventually we're gonna need it anyways. You
Yes.
can't skirt around the fact that the products that we're making and the ideas that we're getting from are human based. So eventually that human factor has to come back into play eventually.
Has to. It
Yeah.
has to. That's why the Met Gala this season is not very well celebrated.
Hmm.
Right? I've watched it. It was very surreal because I didn't know what was going on. The Met Gala, it was one of those places where you as a creative is given this space to watch. The whole nation is watching you and judging the creative side of whose designer is the best, who's the best makeup artist, who's the best hairstylist, everything, right? Everybody's watching. So this was supposed to be initially an opportunity for artists. You couldn't buy your way into the Met Gala. You're only there based on merit that you earned and you deserve. So now the world gets to see it as well. But now you can buy tickets, go inside and act like a big shot. The fashion is not there. Plus, this is the only career that people don't progress in, our careers. Because the people who do the Met Gala are known. It's the same group every season. It's the same group. Who does the hair, who does the makeup, who creates the theme, they are the same people. So just because you're in the Met Gala doesn't mean you're the best, because we haven't seen other people in the market actually. You just kind of inherited the occasion because the first time you were invited by celebrity and then they boosted your profile and now you do the Met Gala every season. But where is the space to introduce new talent that could be better than you? You've just been doing Met Gala for 5 years. Is it fair? No, it's not. Are we seeing what the market has to offer, like the best of the best? No, we're not. We're just saying you every time. Right? So I don't understand what is the point of it anymore. This is why people are not happy about it.
It sounds like making a space for not just your brand and who you are right now, but making a space where that growth can happen for other people. It seems to be very forefront for not even just like your virtues, but for your brand and for your company that you're running and leading right now.
Right.
There is a point where you guys did also enter into that bigger stage and part of that larger conversation. Like, what did it feel like
Yes.
making that transition and actually landing in that space that you're in right now?
Well, you have to. So I always told them we need to stop asking because, again, people who are intellectual, they think that if I presented my case and supported it with proper logical evidence, there should be no conversation after that because the person in front of me understands what I'm saying. And then we're surprised that no, they don't actually. And common sense is not very common anymore. So we had a situation where one of the designers was participating in another production show. And then they joined an editorial campaign with us for Elle magazine. And I got contacted by the production that did the show with them saying you should tag us on the editorial that you did with them. And I was like, why? You did not plan it. You did not shoot it. We casted the models. We hired the photographer. We got the feature space. We came up with the concept and the location. What did you do? And they're like, because this designer walked in our show like a few days before. I'm like, wait, are we claiming human beings now or what's going on? It's like, he's mine. I licked it. It's my clients. Don't get to work with them again without crediting me. I was like, I don't get it. Have you birthed them or something? Like, this was very strange to me. And then they were like, no, we're just trying to understand because we offered them an editorial and they rejected it. So we wanted to know why. I said, so basically you want me to tell you how did they agree to do it with us and why didn't they agree to do it with you? I didn't know that companies share this information. It's a very strange question. I said, well, maybe you should revisit your offerings. Instead, what am I giving the client for value for this amount of money? Because that's another problem, right? As much as our community is small, the productions that have been operating for 10 years plus, they still want to control the market with the same offerings and the same level of service that has been there since the 50s. Why? Why? Which world are we living in? It doesn't work like this. People now don't even have that much money to go around for investment. So first, you have to make it easier. As emerging designer, that's probably all the investment of your entire life. So I believe in my dream and I want to put that money to support it. So what are you giving them in return? Those are the questions that you need to be ready to answer. I'm getting proper placement for international magazines that are fashion magazines. Yes, because absolutely you'll be perceived differently. There's millions of brands out there. But if you're on the cover of Vogue, I would assume there is a reason and a good reason. So I would go look you up as a person who's interested in this. So I will. You are getting that proper placement. You pass also the screenings because those magazines have rules. They have to accept certain submissions. They don't accept everybody, even if you can pay them. And that's a good thing still. So you have to pass the editorial team. That's also an acknowledgement of you and your entire team knowing what you're doing. This is why you deserve that space. And 3, you can actually focus now on your product instead of worrying about a marketing campaign that might have taken up all your time. So there are benefits that have to be weighed. Now, fine, there are benefits, but how much is fair for everybody? Fair for the designer, fair for the creative team that I'm getting paid. Because again, I'm not against collaboration for free. I've done it for many years when I started. And it's a great opportunity to connect with creatives that usually you wouldn't get to work with them. A great photographer that would really give you that set, this set. We all have favorites. There's no way. So that's a great collaboration. We're both benefiting. It's great, but it has to be a means to an end. I cannot be collaborating for the rest of my life. For the first time, fine. But after that, I need to get paid. I have bills to pay too. But again, they decided that our part is not that important and it's just like a decorative piece on top, while it is the core of it. If a production gets the models and the next day the models decided I'm not getting paid, I'm not going to show up, then what are you going to do? And they're not forced to come or even give you an excuse because there's no contract between you. It's collaboration, right? So what are you going to do? What are you going to tell your clients that now will not have a show? So don't tell me it's not important. It is important. It is. AI fashion show, people have done it. People dress up and get out of their houses to watch these shows. They want to be out and to. That's a serious client, actually. He will buy your product or she will buy your product. Otherwise, she wouldn't get out of bed and get dressed in something fancy and come attend your show. They're serious. Better than going to that production that looks like a nightclub. It doesn't have anything to do with fashion, big stages and lights and smoke. I don't know what's going on. Where is the creative side of it? This is how you're showing your brand? No, this is when I want to celebrate my birthday. But I want to show my work. It's a proper show. There's an idea. There's a concept behind it. Where is the artistic part? And that's another reason why those places are making crazy money, overcharging the client, but they are nowhere when it comes to reputable publication. Because what are we putting up? Is this the bar? No, it's not.
Sometimes it can feel like we could lose ourselves in all the glitz, the glamour, the dollar signs. And like you said, I want to get paid. Like there's an aspect of it there that we can't deny. But how do you stay authentic in an industry that you can get paid doing this one thing this way, but you can still carry out your purpose and your vision doing it this way? How do you keep that balance?
So I always tell everyone and my colleagues as well, my team, is that this is more for us as a community-driven movement than a business idea. So it has to remain this way. So every season we have the shows in all the big 4 cities in New York, Paris, Milan, and London. So we always sponsor at least 2 designers in each city. Completely free. All they need to do is bring a suitcase with their clothes and show up. We cover the venue, the production, the models, the hair and makeup, the photography, the videography, everything else. Here's a show with people attending and buyers and investors and proper fashion people. Now you have the room. This is an opportunity. Now it all depends on your talent and likability and if people absorb what you're trying to show them, but you got a fair shot in a competition that was usually unfair. So now show your work and see what people do. And we do that in every city, literally, that we operate in, because many of those designers, even if it's very fairly priced, they still don't have that. We have students from fashion schools. In Korea, we had schools here, Parsons in NYC, students still experimenting. I want to see, is this for me? Should I continue doing this? So also, they don't have the funds and they feel like I wouldn't risk that much. We definitely sponsor them. And if you think about it, we did not sponsor them. All of the other participating designers made sure that they had this show and gave you a spot in it. So that is a community movement, is that we uplift each other truly, because nobody's eating from the other. I'm telling you that. The market is massive and have all kinds of demands. Nobody is hijacking anybody's bread at all. Everybody, if they're professional and they're smart, they have their share. And that's a great thing. So I feel like it's cute that the scales are a little bit like touching now, Even celebrities, now we're in touch with a lot of celebrities that usually used to prefer to dress in those luxury houses. But now they want to dazzle people on the red carpet. So like, I know there's somebody out there that is brilliant. Doesn't have to be from a big house. And that's amazing. And we just are finalizing some of these projects coming out in June. I'm dying to post it because this is huge for me. Huge because I'm a hardcore fan as well of the thing that person's in, because I can't say anything right now. So it was awesome for me to see that even celebrities who are actually very influential right now, they also have the same opinions like us. They have the same opinions like us. And now they feel I have a good place. I want to uplift my community as well and show those creatives. Everybody starts somewhere. And yeah, I think it's awesome.
That's something I really love about your story, your platform, and who you are as an individual. Is when you go online to social media, most people are like, me. Check it out. I'm doing this, I'm doing that. But you tended to use your space as community. Like, I might have views, but this is my opinion on this. This is how I feel. This person should get their limelight. This person should have the views as well. And
Right.
appreciate that so much.
Oh yeah, we have to do this because otherwise it's unbearable and boring. And if we're smart enough, and I really think this generation is very smart because we don't easily accept authority figures like our parents used to. We're very suspicious by nature, so we do our own homework and we dig for information. So I think that we're very strong in that level, is that we know how to do things better. We've worked in the front, if you're a model or something, and at the back, if you assisted in fashion shows, if you dealt with the designers. And even the designers figured it out themselves as time progresses. It's like, wait, why do we need the middle person here? Like, we've worked with this team of creatives, we know them. If I want to do another project, I'm hiring them. So what are those big production houses are offering to anybody? Add to it the treatment, because once you feel like you're too important, you think you can treat people however way that you want. And we've seen a lot of incidents like this. We've banned some production houses, any of our models, to work with them again, because if one incident happened with one person and you let it happen, it would happen to you for sure. But even if it didn't, now I have no respect for you as a colleague because you didn't do anything about it. It's your job to do that if you claim to be serious about our industry. And see, just like we connected through events like this, and you recognize the talent in each other, and you feel like, oh, that's a person I'd like to have in my circle to continue having a conversation with, because we add so much to each other, you know?
And even making those connections early on, you never know who you run into later, what they become, develop along the line. But what's something about your early stages that you feel like people aren't really appreciating now that is happening behind the scenes?
Oh my God, we don't even know where to start from because you have to let go of so much. First of all, it's the uncertainty. It's a fact you have to pay rent. It's a fact that you have to eat, but it's not a fact that you will get that money at the end of the month if you do jobs like our jobs, right? Because you don't know, is this client going to say yes? Nobody said yes right away. They have to also visit it internally, discuss it, come back, work on it again, back and forth. So in all this process, it's 100% on your side and nothing from the other side. You're not getting rewarded for effort. You get rewarded with contracts are signed, right?
Yeah.
So the uncertainty is something very difficult for people to live with. And the fact that even if you get a full-time job, you're not going to be able to commit, because once you have something in place and a contract confirmed, you have to drop and do that. And do I stay stuck from 9 to 5, or do I pursue my dream? Everything has pros and cons, unfortunately, but it's not going to feed you initially, that's for sure, because you're the one that is trying to prove yourself and show people what you have. So unfortunately, another fact, not everyone is going to believe in whatever dream that you believe in initially. Why should they support you? Why should the designer decide to take a gamble and work with you when you just started something? They don't know how is it going to end up. So that's very difficult too, because you have to get into it knowing I'm not going to make anything for a while and I will have expenses. So that's the plan that you need to be ready with. Otherwise, it's a madman's plan. Spend money and nothing is coming in. And also it takes time. It takes a long time from A to Z. It could take you months to put something together. Until it happens, that's another 2 or 3 months. So it's a big patience game. You have to be really contained. And also when you start something, people come to you with every single problem because they assume that you have solutions for it. That's what I love about my Karen team is they own their parts. Whether Tala, she's the head of communication, or RJ, he's our head of media, and they own their space. Like if there's a problem in my department, I will come to you with possible solutions, and now we discuss which one do we do. But you don't come to me and say, okay, tell me what to do right now. And I love that about our circle. And there's a massive pool of talents. And eventually, when you have that talk internally, you feel like all the problems are solved because you have so many brains invested in this. So definitely have the right people around you. It's nice and sentimental to have your friends with you. But if you're building a business, you have to be objective, right? If I need an open heart surgery, I will not hire my best friend to operate on me just because I love her so much. There's a big difference because now it's not just something I'm doing as a hobby, it's the livelihood of other people who rely on me to keep that business running. So people make that mistake in our circle. They feel like if me and another person who's a good friend are equally frustrated, if we do a business together, it's going to be successful. No, what are they strong at? What are you strong at? And can you actually help each other and collaborate? Or it's just going to be a cutesy project that fails eventually. So have the right people around you, empower them to do their job. Otherwise, you're limiting their creativity. I don't like to tell people exactly what I want. I'd be like, take a look and you tell me, what do you think? You're the head of this setup. You choose the theme. So what do you think? If you're proud of it, then I'll be happy as well. But you need to own your job. And also open the door always for new creatives. Don't ever get set on a team thinking this is loyalty. No, you need to introduce new talents. Let them challenge each other as well and bring a lot of creativity out of each other. You're banning both of them from learning if you do that. But you can still be loyal. You can pass the projects accordingly. Who's good at what? I'm going to give them that project. You know what I mean? Like be fair, but also being professional. You need to be very, very professional. Because again, that's a big mistake. When it happens and it grows, and you didn't expect it to grow this much, it comes with a lot of problems that you were not initially prepared to handle. So you will need good people around you, not just he's my brother, so I want him with me. Kill me for it, but it's true.
It takes a lot of trust in yourself as well as a huge support system. So when you were first deciding that you wanted to get into this industry and field, how important was that? And how was your friends and family and even the support system in helping you get to there or just being reliable?
Oh, it was very important for me because I was so triggered and I'm at my best glorious self when I'm triggered. I find solutions to everything. Seriously, that's the freaking brown person in me. You put me in that zone with a survival, I'll figure it out. And I felt like we definitely can do better than this. Don't tell me if we're actually producing a show, we cannot do better than this. Come on. And everybody was like, yes, we can. I was like, okay, then why aren't we? What is stopping us from now? The same team that was like, you know what, do it. I'm doing the hair and makeup with you. Because she has that same problem. She feels like her area is monopolized by other companies and she doesn't have an opportunity to show her work. Okay, so we're doing this. That's my team. They're still my team until now, and they're growing, mashallah. Before it was maybe 3-4 people, now they're 30-something people. And that's another woman-owned business. It was a Latina, so it felt perfect. I was like, you know what? That's awesome. Let's help each other out, sisters, because it's rough out there. And the same thing was every member of the team. I know who's good at what. And I told them, okay, this is what I think, and let's do this. And each one, of course, had a reservation. Like we have a Palestinian colleague, so obviously have hard lines when it comes to this. And I'm like, no, I'm absolutely with you. If you're from Congo, you're from Sudan, it's a community movement. I care about you and your family and the country you came from and your well-being. I don't care who you are, but I do. So I was like, okay, let's do that. Who is going to cancel you? I don't care. Do it. If I'm not adding value, I will not succeed anyways. And if I am adding value, if you plot against me, I will succeed regardless. You can't stop it. So I was like, okay, let's do it and give it a shot and start small and make it super easy for everybody to join as well, designers, so they don't feel like they're risking. And let's test what we can do. And it was incredible. We did not expect that. And I can see it on everybody's face that we're going home feeling fulfilled and feeling validated. Like, I pulled that off and it was amazing. From that day onwards, nobody doubted it. Everybody was like, we got this. Let's go bigger. Let's move to another city. Let's have another office over here. Let's go to Florida. Let's go everywhere. And they were absolutely right every time. Because now they believe they can do it. It doesn't matter where. So it became awesome, and the family became bigger, and we're very proud of them. They're incredible people. And now seeing the people I love so much that really carried me for no reason at all when I decided to start, and I see them excel in their areas as well. When I open another magazine, I see an interview with one of them, and I was like, man, I like this for us. Like, we definitely earned this, and this is really cool. And I want other people to know that too. There's this massive space for everybody. So let's do it. Let's do it together. Nobody owns our livelihood. It's not true. I don't believe in that.
Being in so many different rooms and in so many different areas where you're making things happen, it sounds like it takes a lot. How do you make that balance between all the glitz and glam and the hard work of your business, professional life, and your personal life?
I don't. I really don't, because I never thought about it. I never thought, okay, when I'm so busy like this, and my day is literally, it needs to be 72 hours long one day, not 24. I didn't think that this is going to happen, because I thought it's going to be like a small thing that we do. It's cute. It keeps us busy, and hopefully we make some money and survive. But I didn't expect that. So now we have clients who are in Japan, clients who are in the Middle East. So the time difference is a killer. And they're in the middle of their day while it's 3 a.m. my time, and I have to be awake. Because again, you want to catch them on a time that is good for them, so that they're comfortable. They want to ask questions. They want all the legal aspects of things. And I'm the person who does that. So conversations, it's long. And when I freaking crash, like I'm tired, don't even look at me, not talk to me, I would just tell Tala, I'm up to here and I'm going to go have dinner today. And that's it. But I really roll with it as it comes. Because in our industry as well, things happen every single day that affects your place. I had to learn the hard way that if you book a venue for a massive event, sometimes conveniently the government forgets that they have to do the plumbing something in this place, and they don't let the person know. They just show up on their day and be like, oh, I'm so sorry, I have to dismantle this whole place right now.
Wow.
So now I've learned, yes, you see, so you have to roll with it. There are scenarios that are impossible. Somebody who's drunk and will try to crash an event, and you know the laws, you can't really use your hands, you can't, but that person's gonna disturb everything and ruin it for you. So what are you gonna do? Oh, so we need security. Guess what? But that's what I mean, is that the stuff that you don't think about, but once the business is big and strong and you have a lot of people attending, how are you gonna regulate the entry of those people, right? Especially that in our show, they show up and they don't know what to expect. We never repeat the same venue twice. There's always a story and a theme, and they show up and they don't know what is it, what is going to be, what's the idea. So that element makes the shows very busy. So I have to make sure everybody's safe. I have to make sure the kids a certain age not allowed in, because trust me, sometimes the parents wander around and I'm like, I'm responsible. I can't. There's alcohol over there. I don't know where he's going. His parents also don't know where he's going. So there were certain elements that you don't really foresee unless you learn with the time. But I just like to play it human. I know my limits. Once I'm really tired, I'll be like, okay, I'm passing it on to somebody else for a day and then back at it. But you gotta do what you gotta do.
You've done a lot, so much so where it's inspiring, like hearing your story, seeing the way that you not only created a space, you've mastered your craft and you've made it replicable for other people to also make a way for themselves to be successful. Honestly, descriptively, that's inspiring.
Thank
So,
you.
who has been inspiring you lately? I know that drive is still directed at somewhere, someone still catching your eye somewhere, inspiring you.
Oh, someone inspiring. It doesn't have to be, because I don't do the celebrity culture at all. They have like 100 people behind them telling them what to do, and you're like, oh, so impressive. How'd you come up with this? So brilliant. No, but I think most people that are doing podcasts right now actually have something important to say. I know that's against public belief, but they really have conviction about something that they decided to make the effort. So I try to listen to a lot of those. One of them is Dr. Wednesday Martin. She's incredible. She's like one of my heroes years ago. And then we connected after that. She's a professor. She has really enlightening opinions about females, which is something I wanted to understand growing up as well. And she's one of my absolute idols. I think she's incredible. She's doing great work, educating a lot of people that grew up in different places where maybe they didn't have access to this information. So she's definitely one of those people. Yeah. It's funny. The only person I thought of was a woman. No offense.
Listen, women are great. No offense are taken. Honestly, we have to spotlight them more.
I see that. Yeah, I appreciate that very much. But yeah, I think it's always inspiring for me when I see that happens. I feel like it's such a healthy space when this is your contribution to your community. You're actually using what you're good at to give back. And I love that.
So you mentioned earlier that you have some upcoming stuff happening in June. Is there anything we could get a sneak peek on or learn, or is it all tight-lipped?
No, so it's basically, we touched on it a little bit, but the fact that celebrities and big houses collaborations were something like fixed in stone. Like you can't get that level exposure unless you're a brand that, in their words, like you proved yourself to be luxury and you're established, and then you can shoot with celebrities. Otherwise, you can reach out. They will give you whatever pricing that they have. And as an emerging brand, you cannot do that. So you can't have this massive scale campaign with your resources. It's very difficult. And again, it makes it unfair because this means that you didn't get to show what you have. And maybe somebody else who has the funds that is not as good as you will get that chance. But now, so many celebrities are not like this. They're like people like us. They're activists too, and they have like very strong opinions about certain causes. So they want to do this as well. So we have one coming up with all emerging designers and a celebrity that is playing a huge role in one of the Fantasia series that people are obsessed with. Like me, people like me, because I love this show. It's one of my absolute favorites. And that season, I believe, is dropping as well soon. So it's going to coincide with the campaign that we're doing together. So I think it's really great timing. And for me, it's a personal statement. I want designers who are sitting in their bedroom right now, hand sewing a piece in New York City, to be like, I can do that too. I can dress and show my work without having to spend an arm and a leg and a kidney. It's because I'm good and somebody saw it and actually felt that I'm good and I can do it. So for me, this is huge, like from all angles. It's huge because season 3 is dropping, and it's huge because we love the character too. And I feel like it's such a message to this fashion community that we have passage now in many different places. And the reason is because you need to stop asking nicely. We stop asking nicely. We just make it happen. Grab the damn seat and sit at the table. There's no other solution. Nobody's going to give you perfect conditions. I'm sorry. And also, I'm a bit hardened because I come from this environment. I can't tell my mom I'm depressed. I can't. She's going to smack me out of my depression. This is where I come from. So it's not an option. So I like to be very straightforward. If you want to do something, do it. I don't need your permission. I'll use whatever little resources that I have and give it my best shot. And that's that. And may the best, most creative person win. But you're not going to occupy this space by yourself just because you have the means. This is ridiculous. So wait for it. It's coming up very soon.
When people look back at your story, look back at your career years from now, what do you want them to remember?
I want them to remember that you can do anything you want to do. And if we get as much energy, if we give as much energy and thought into how to do it rather than keep complaining about it, it's not going to work out for anybody. I like to fix problems. I was never the person who would, for example, comfort a friend while she's crying and be like, oh, I'm so sorry. Let's just sit here and I'll give you a hug. I'm the friend who's like, listen, we need to report this to the police within the very first 24 hours. I'm the person who needs a plan to fix it. Okay, we'll cry later. I'll take care of that later. But this is really how you have to defend your dream and what you believe is the right thing. And put yourself out there. Complaining to each other, making a project with each other. It makes more sense. It's more fulfilling.
If there's someone, a model, a designer, an entrepreneur that is listening to you right now and is like, I feel I have potential, but I'm just unseen. What should I do? What do you recommend? What would be your words of wisdom or advice for him?
Reach out and have a conversation. If I want to have a successful editorial or I want to have a very good reel for a commercial, I'm going to go to Paris and be like, okay, what do you think of this? Do you think this is good? We do that, right? To get each other opinion. If someone is better at something and you want to ask them what they think and make it better, think of it as a college concept or doing something together. Reach out and have a conversation with the people that know. Because from brand to another brand is very different. I have designers that think of their label as a way of expression. They don't think about making money behind it. They create those beautiful, massive, sculpted dresses that look like something to be in a museum, but nobody wears them in real life, really. But this is an outlet for their creativity for them. They don't want to make money. Compared to another designer who wants to have an online business, basically. Those are two very different ones. The one that is more artistic than thinking of it as a business plan, he wants more visibility, probably. The other one needs to establish the label first, enter a market, have more analysis. Who are your shoppers, really? Where do you invest? Is it paid ads? Is it something else? So each brand is very different, but they don't know where to start from. And I noticed most new brands, they want to do everything at the same time. So they will see a good video posted at a brand's website, they will do it, and then they see from a different brand something else, they do it too. But now I'm confused. I don't know who you are as a label. And they think if I do all this, it's going to be successful. It's not. And also, I have to say the High Society was not the very first project I started. I've done so many projects before. Many of them failed and many of them succeeded because it's bound to happen, right? If you do a lot of stuff, some will work, some will not work. But that's the whole point. Most people stop at the first time it doesn't work. Something doesn't work. They feel like, okay, I spent so much money on this already. It's not paying me. But you have to have that willpower if you decide to be an artist in general. Look at singers, for example. How long does it take them until they get a record deal? They play in cafes, they play in bars, they play for free, they go to birthday parties hoping for this one chance. Same thing for painters. How long does it take them to make something that is actually recognized and you become that person, that is, your name is known? It takes years. And sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. But at least you've tried and now you can steer from this. Okay, can I have done it better or should I do something else, a different niche maybe? Just do it. Do it and let it fail. It doesn't matter. Consider it as if you took a trip to Europe and spent thousands of dollars on it. You have learned something, for sure. I think I've learned more from the ones that failed than the ones that work fine. Because the ones work fine, they don't challenge you. It's working. But the ones that fail, those are the ones that teach you, really. So it's not really a loss. And enjoyed the journey. I keep telling my friends we were dreaming of the day that we get a vacation somewhere. I'm like, we're on an eternal vacation right now. If I'm not making any money, we are in New York and then Milan and then London and then Paris and having the time of our lives. Now that is something I want to look back at and be like, oh, we've lived well. We managed to do the stuff we love while enjoying life like this. This is a win by itself for me. And I tell designers that too, that enjoy the experience. Don't be hooked only on showing your collection. You're in Paris. Go out and walk around and be inspired and feel like, oh my God, there's so much beauty and life can be different here. And go back in a better mood, comfortable and happy, and enjoy the whole existence being in this place right now, because that's a moment for you. You're here. That by itself is an accomplishment. So I love to do that. I think probably we're the only ones doing that. When we get there, I like to take them for breakfast to my favorite place in Paris, for example, or go to dinner after the show because the adrenaline is high right after. And be like, okay, let's go somewhere. Celebrate you, yourself. Because they're so driven to get the show done that they don't think of it this way. It's like, oh my God, I'm here. And people saw that and it's beautiful. It's a life experience that now their grandkids are also going to look at it and be like, oh, she was cool. She was doing really cool stuff. So I love that part as well of the job. When everything is done, everybody's calm, and then they celebrate that moment. It means a lot for me.
Yeah, I've definitely learned a lot today from all your expertise and all the insights to just the dedication and the heart. So it's everything.
Thank you. The first one. Paris loses. His dog barked first.
I know. Right? But it's been an honor. It's been a pleasure to.
Thank you. Same here.
And it feels like there's so much more behind you that we just haven't gotten to yet. But I don't think this is the last time that we'll have a conversation.
Oh, definitely. Definitely. And you guys, you're in NYC. You have to come the next show.
Yes, we were at the last one. You guys were fantastic. Your people were so nice.
We'll
get the next one.
Definitely. Yes.
Where can our listeners find you at if they want to keep up with everything you have coming out?
We mostly post everything on the High Society account. So we have one for the modeling agency and we have High Society Management for the production house. We always post everything in there. Fashion Week official as well website. I believe we're launching with them very soon as well, and probably the end of June before the season starts. I will send you guys. You have to be there because it's like a one night that all the creatives are going to come together, everybody in the city that we know. And we'll basically be talking about the next season and what do we expect from it, meet designers, meet, each other, talk about possible work together. So it's gonna be fun. Instagram, I'm sorry, our account on Instagram basically has everything. Bye.
Bye.